Hey guys, it's Ping with Vital MX. We're here for another edition of Moto 101 back here at Fox Raceway. And today I want to work on something that has become a more common technique. You continue to see this develop more and more, a lot of guys using this. And it's something that will save you some energy, protect your knees and ankles, and actually just be a lot of fun once you can get this down. And it's basically, when you come into a turn that you don't need to have your foot out, you're going to see guys like Ken Roczen, Eli Tomac, Chase Sexton. You see a lot of these top riders, guys who you emulate their style, doing this a lot, going through turns that are 90 degrees or a little sweepier without putting their foot out. So everything basically stays the same. Your entry, when you go to make that transition to sit up into the pocket, put your foot out and start making the turn, all of that's the same, except you sit and your foot just stays on the peg. And you know, the bike leans in and everything just like normal, but your foot just never comes off and goes out. And what happens is it does protect your knees and ankles. I've got bad knees, so I've been kind of trying to develop this for my own safety purposes so I don't tweak my knees and ankles. But as I said, it actually, it's less energy, less mistakes. I'm not finding myself catching my foot and getting it dragged behind me in ruts. It's a really effective technique. So we picked a couple different turns here today, both of them about 90 degrees, and that seems to be where this is kind of the easiest technique to apply. Anything that's higher speed, anything that has a really good berm or like a nice rut, not super deep ruts, those can be tougher. And if it's a flat turn, it is nice to have your foot out, because if it does start to wash, you've got something to catch you. And it also, by having your foot out and forward, it kind of weights that front wheel a little bit more. So this isn't for every single turn, it's selective. Look for, like I said, 90 degrees or wider, or really good berms, or nice ruts that aren't too deep or too shallow. And again, as you come in, you're gonna see me enter these turns just like I would any other turn. You go from accelerating to braking, and once you get to that point in the turn where you're going to enter the apex and drop into the pocket, put your foot out, and start accelerating through the turn and looking forward, all of that's the same, except the foot out part doesn't happen. The foot just stays on the foot peg. Everything else should be about the same, to be really honest with you. If it's a good berm or rut, I would suggest kind of just staying middle of the seat. I found for me that's what I end up doing, rather than if you've got your foot out, you're counterbalancing, right? So you're always taught the crack of your butt goes on the edge of the seat. So bike rolls in, you stay more upright. In these situations where there's a good berm or rut, you want to just kind of let the bike follow the lean angle of the bike. So it's almost like as the berm does this, the bike's flat with it, you're just staying on flat ground, so you're in a direct line with that. And like I said, everything else as far as the way you're applying the throttle and accelerating, that all stays the same. As you get to that apex, you're looking forward, looking at your exit. But what this does, as I've mentioned, it just allows you to reduce the movement, so you're going to save energy, you're reducing the chance of your foot getting caught up, and it just saves a split second of one procedure that you don't have to do. That leg out also upsets the chassis a little bit more, right? Because you're taking weight from the pegs and all of a sudden throwing it forward. So it's doing this to the bike. It's subtle, but even subtle things in the turns like that make a big difference. So by doing that, it keeps the chassis very calm and settled, and you get in and out of the turn, and before you know it, you're like, whoa, I'm out. I didn't have to put my foot out. That was crazy. And it'll feel awkward at first. You're gonna feel like you're gonna tip over. Maybe even you do a couple times, if you lean in too much and climb out of the rut, you might tip over. Like I said, try to find a good berm or rut to practice this on a few times first until you get the hang of it. But pay attention to Ken Roczen, who I believe has a fantastic technique and style. Eli Tomac, Sexton, Ferrandis, I see doing this a lot now. And try to copy it. I mean, that's how we all get better. You find the very best at something, watch what they do, and emulate it. That's all I'm doing here, trying to kind of show you guys how it can be applied, how to do it. Give it a try. I think it's something that as we go forward is going to become more and more common. So make yourself a better and safer rider and try it out. See you next time.